Next up, we have select board comments. Tommy?
Having AV error over here. I met with Comcast last week, and no surprises. They're not proposing any changes to the franchise agreement, and we have to do a new one before August of next year. So we got a year to screw around with it. So I don't think there's going to be anything. He's going to send a proposed copy of the franchise agreement in the coming month or two. So
That it?
that's it.
Allison?
No, thanks, nothing.
Dale?
Nothing.
The only thing I have is the board voted earlier and signed the warrant for the upcoming town meeting. And I think we worked very hard on it. I think Tim worked very hard on it, and everybody did in the select board. And the current budget that we just voted on is $2.83 million, and it's an increase of approximately $25,000 over last year.
Yay.
And Phil, you got all your information you need?
Yep, thank you, Jason.
But I can't say enough how weeks and weeks and weeks of going through the budget. I think we've done a very good job. Next up is public comments. Debbie?
As a follow-up to the last meeting about the Memorial Day event, there will not be a planned Memorial Day event
Okay.
this year. And I would just add that the Communications Committee sent out a newsletter this week.
Oh,
We did.
thank you. And then I already thought of something I forgot. The local.
Is there going to be another one in the next month?
No, probably not. But actually, since it came up, there's ARP. I'll get the information to you. ARP is doing a shredding event in conjunction with the age-friendly communities of the Lower Kennebec. I don't. I'll get you the information. But
Okay.
it's this month, and it's like
Yeah, I saw
10:30
some
I forget the
to 1:30.
date. Yeah.
Oh, it's the 11th. 10:30, 9 to 1. And I'll get you because they want you to
It's at Morse,
register.
right?
Well, okay, because that's what I did not make it onto my calendar is more because I'm volunteering. Okay, I'll get the information to you.
All right, so noted. Town administrators report, Kim?
I really don't have anything. I did go up to Bangor on Friday to a manager's interchange, and I know that we're in the worker safety comp incentive program, the WISC, whatever you call it. So I was talking to risk management up there, and I told them that we were at tier 3, and she said, you do know that if you stay in the program for 3 years, then you get a 15% discount.
What is it now?
I think we're at a 9%.
Wow.
I think it's 9%, but if you stay in it for 3 years, then it's an additional 15%. And I thought
Additional on top of the 9?
I think so.
Wow.
Well, obviously, that made a big difference
But it- yeah.
in the budget this year.
Oh yeah, it did, because we've dropped down. We've gone
Yeah.
we were in,
We noted that for Phil.
Right, exactly. We lowered our workers' comp.
yes, yeah, we were in that high tier for 3 years, and now we
Okay.
finally are
That's
flatlining,
great.
so that's a good thing.
Do you think that now we should talk about that? So as the board knows, we've had a discussion about
Yes.
the town's investments, and they're all staggering, and they're all different CDs that come at different terms, and I think we talked about maybe authorizing the treasurer to, as those term out, to put them in a money market fund, and I think for the record, we should have a motion that,
Okay.
if that's okay.
I'll move that.
Second.
Does that sound clear enough for you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all those in favor? All good with that?
Okay.
And that's for like if we need a tax anticipation.
Well,
Instead of
not-
doing the tax
Instead of
anticipation
doing-
note,
Instead of, yeah.
then this we can just, we have that investment, so we can just, when the CDs mature, I'll just take those out and move them into a money market account and keep that there. So that way we're not paying penalties and fees
And then we
on
would
it.
replenish that when the tax season's over.
exactly, the idea is always to keep it there,
Yeah,
but
so I think we just keep a money market account open, so that way we always have that funding, and you would get more of a investment on your,
exactly, the earnings better.
off the money market.
Related to that, do we know if the county commissioners have made a final decision about the payment schedule? No?
Nope, I've not heard anything
Okay.
from them.
Are they still only with an acting administrator?
I guess, I don't hear anything from
Yeah,
anybody at the county.
okay.
Last I heard, it seemed like the vibe was that they weren't gonna take any action until next fiscal year.
Yeah, well, they combined the positions.
The finance director.
No, I mean the payment, the payment.
Oh, right,
What?
yeah.
Yeah,
What?
that's what I thought, that's what I heard when we were there at the
Well,
last.
that's what I
meeting.
thought too, and I thought
Yeah.
there was gonna be another meeting at some point, but I feel like that during their budget, they kind
Yeah.
of slid that off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is,
Stay tuned.
Stay
yeah.
tuned.
Well, we can, yeah, okay.
I mean, that payment is really the main reason for the TAN.
Well, that's right, it's all
Yes.
about, it's all
I mean,
about
that's,
cash flow,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so next up, road commissioners report, Mr. Shaw.
I don't know, do you have any complaints or compliments, Kim?
I just hear that you're doing a fabulous job. The frost heaves have started to dissipate, so it's a nice.
Thanks for your efforts on
smoother
that.
ride down Middle Road. Where we
It's
were.
kind of magic. I talked to Woodwich in Wisconsin today, and we're tentatively gonna go for, we're taking the posters off probably the 15th,
Okay,
but that's not written in stone.
yeah,
That's just, if somebody asks you, to give you a thought,
tentative
Basis.
dates, yeah,
Couple
okay.
more weeks.
yeah.
Tom, did you have a question?
Yeah, I didn't get my signal flare up high enough.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Very public, if I can.
All right, one moment. So,
Yeah, whenever.
nothing relating to this?
No.
Anything else?
No, not if she has nothing, no.
No.
We've been patching and they've been picking up sticks and we're in pretty good shape.
Coming out of winter.
You haven't been picking up sticks in my front yard.
No.
Oh,
You know, because we don't know where to start.
what are they doing on Middle Road?
Yes,
Like-
that's,
like-
Getting
Yeah.
ready for the cold.
Okay, because yeah, they're doing quite the
Yeah,
ditch
that's
digging
right.
over there.
that's where that road closure came in. Where
Okay.
some of the two.
Okay.
If Hawks is up there cutting all the wood,
Yep,
that's what they did yesterday with red lights.
yep, okay.
And we did put a blurb in the newsletter about that, by the way.
I saw that. They were there again today too, working.
I haven't been up today, but yeah, they're out there.
So before we move on, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I just wanted to try to understand the Resiliency Committee. Was supposed to meet this past Monday night. Nobody showed up for that. So I'm trying to understand. Initially, I submitted my email so I could stay in tune with what's happening with the Resiliency Committee, but I'm getting no notices by email. And when I show up, this is the third or fourth meeting I've shown up for and nobody's here. So I'm a little concerned about transparency, number one. And number two, is there any edict that the Resiliency Committee will be submitting a budget to the Select Board to make them aware of how the monies are being spent for the town that they're supposed to be responsible for?
Well, all I can tell you about Monday night, I know that Tommy and Allison and I and David attended the RSU budget meeting, and I know you came down.
So they changed, well, they changed their mind about meeting in person because we weren't gonna be
I
here.
get 5 o'clock. or
Yeah,
something,
at like
Yeah.
at the 11th hour, so, yeah, so that's why we weren't here. They were planning on being here.
But I can, because David has moved to Arousik, we have a new chair. And why don't I send Lauren Moffett, so I will send her your email on that.
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Interested.
Okay.
Is there any plans for the Resiliency Committee to submit a budget to the Select Board as to an update of how the monies are being spent?
You mean the grant money?
Correct.
I don't know.
I
I wasn't
don't-
I wasn't
I
there.
don't know, do they do minutes or anything?
Well, Lauren sent us an email that sort of described what they did on Monday.
Oh, okay,
Do
okay,
they have a report in the town report?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
So it looks like we'll get you connected with the new folks and,
Yeah, so, I mean, it's been, what, a year since they started, and
yeah. But it's my understanding, Tom, right, or Allison, isn't the money's good for,
2 years.
It's a two-year
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
the money's good for 2 years, but it's not shown how it's being spent. I was curious.
It's actually, one of the things they did, we were supposed to do at Monday's meeting, was sort of an update on the budget. So,
Well, all but 15,000 of the grant is gonna be paying GMRI,
right,
which we've
Yeah.
already
yeah.
committed to.
So all the money's going to GMRI, then nothing to the town.
Not,
All but 15,000 is covering the engagement with GMRI.
Right, they're getting bulk of it, 60,000.
Right.
Where's the 15,000 for the town, and how's that being spent?
We don't know yet.
I know we're gonna buy some posts.
Oh, for the signage?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, they haven't decided yet.
I don't think we've spent any, have we?
I think on a mailing or something.
Yeah. It's a
I
good
forget.
question. I will send that, and I know that, yeah.
Well, thank you guys, and get back to Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so next up, code enforcement officers report.
I have nothing.
All right, so I know Mike is on vacation this week, I think we all know that, so no report this week. EMS director's report, I think I have it right in front of me. From Danny, who couldn't be here, said, hello, I won't be able to attend the meeting, all right, attachments. In March, we responded to 17 calls with 17 patients, 14 transports. MC1 was called for 5 times. We responded to mutual aid to Dresden once. And we will be hosting a life flight ground safety course on April 12th. Nothing else to report today. That's,
We forgot last night. We went to Wisconsin last night too.
oh, okay.
Oh, what?
We went to Wisconsin last night too.
Okay.
Him and I did. So
Oh, all right, well,
Yeah.
1 second here.
Oh, does that count on March or April?
oh, that's true. Huh? I don't know. It was
What
close.
time was the call?
It was like right before midnight. So.
Oh.
You might be ahead. All right. Next up is the fire chief's report, Sean.
So we had 15 calls in March, and here's my monthly summary that David requested.
Perfect, thank you.
Nothing too extravagant. A lot of fires out of town we've been helping with.
Yeah, you mind if I read this?
Yeah.
So, what Sean said in March is 15 calls, 1 brush fire, 2 carbon monoxide alarms, 3 electrical hazard trees down, 3 fire alarm activations, 1 vehicle accident, and then mutual aid, 4 structure fires, and 1 chimney fire. So I presume you're talking about the 5
Yep.
mutual aid calls.
Yep. Well, we had extra, so the grant tool that we got from the extrication grant that we received last year, that tool is completely in service. They had hands-on extrication training thanks to Norms. It was cast this past Sunday, so I want to specifically mention thanks to him for allowing us the space and the vehicles to provide for the extrication training. It was a great morning of hands-on training. I keep Glenn in particular keeps mentioning, he said, I can't believe how many people show up for these hands-on classes. We had almost 20 people there for that, so just our department. So that's pretty great to see that. So anyway, that's a good marking for training for us. And I don't have anything else to...
Okay, I shared with the board that the faucet leak problem
Yep.
was there, that the plumber, Kim knows that tomorrow they may lose water for an hour. Well,
Yep.
we'll see how that goes, but anybody have any questions? Shelley? All right, so next up, old business unfinished. And I think this is where we,
Yeah, we're gonna talk to Mr. Martin
Mr.
here.
Martin, come on up. So we have your renewal here.
Okay.
While we have you here in person, we wanted to bring up one thing that you're probably aware of. We've had many complaints about the portable toilet. And it wasn't just your butter. We've had quite a few calls about it in the office.
We're fielding a lot of calls, and it's starting to just be a nuisance. And
We
we were kind of hoping that you would be able to remove the porta potty, seeing as how there's no construction there any longer.
Well, I think I've actually given up on the hopes of construction being due to
Calls.
a very lengthy legal battle with an abutter there.
Oh.
And let's just say I've been awarded like $16,000 in damages, which I'll never see a penny from. My surveyor refuses to do any work on the property. My contractors don't want to come back. So I'll remove the porta potty if I'm not going to be expected to do anything with that lot.
I don't know if there was any expecting.
Oh, I think when I originally did my site plan, we're going to put like a fence up,
Oh.
kind of clean up a little bit, and
Okay.
if she just,
So that's planning board. So the planning board, when you went through site plan review, there were some conditions that weren't met on that lot. But I mean, I can honestly myself say that it wasn't plowed this winter. Nobody utilized the lot. Debbie, do you recall anything that?
I mean, there were fencing and that kind of things that were on the,
But is that because the lot was going to be used as parking and overflow? I'm just try
Yeah,
to,
we were just attempting to clean that lot up while we were cleaning up the old baker site.
yeah.
And use it for parking.
Yeah, if need be, but obviously
But
we're,
if you're not
Seems like
using
you
it for
don't-
parking,
yeah.
yeah.
So what about so you own the vacant house though, right? The vacant-
I lease the property, so Dennis Baker technically still owns the property.
Yeah, you answered that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we forgot.
Yeah.
Do you see any issue, Debbie, with the
Well,
planning board? I don't think we knew much about the details of the site.
I can't remember the details, but I mean, I think probably everybody in the world would like to see a fence, but, you know, I can't tell you that.
Because we did have it surveyed, and she pulled the property pins and accosted the surveyor up there. And she's come at contractor with a crowbar. She's come at employees with a little mini baseball bat with a nail through it this long. She filed a harassment charge against me, which I had to show up in court. And I mean, the judge threw it out as frivolous because her complaints were insane. Like part of the complaint was elderly abuse because my contractors would not stop making noise from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. during her mother's nap time and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then I know the Maine DOT had legal action against her for assaulting one of the workers out there during this time span.
Yeah.
And now she's harassing another abutter. I forget the name, but she has a little art gallery there where they had to get a protection from harassment because she would call over and be like, I know when your husband's at work, I know when you're home alone, I can see you walking through your house and I can see through your window. So, I mean, she is just a whole...
We've had our share of Mr. Road Commissioner.
Is that the same woman that has such horrible language
Yeah.
that I have on the phone?
Yes,
Oh, I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, all right, well,
Yes.
Oh, either way, I can have that hauled out of here.
the
next
board
week.
body though would be
We would
great
greatly
if
appreciate that.
I will say the sheriff's department's gonna be very disappointed, but I will.
Well, we assume you pay rent on that, or somebody does.
Yeah.
So, you know, if that could kind of, you know, it wasn't just her on the porta potty. And it appeared that this one of the parking lot wasn't plowed, and there was no footprints, and it kind of blew around the window, it don't turn. That would be a great help for the town.
Yes, I would greatly appreciate that.
All right, so moving on to this.
Yes.
Kim, I need help.
Okay,
Are we-
so you're on the page that you need to be.
Yeah, we have a series of questions, right?
Yep, so it's just here, section 3 is all we need to do.
Just from here to here.
Yep,
All right,
that's it.
so we started out local authorization of cannabis establishments in Midland. Request for renewal. All right, so the first question, is an ordinance or warrant article in effect that allows some or all types of cannabis establishments within the municipality, including the type of cannabis establishment the person is currently operating within the municipality is indicated in the license type box of section 1 of this form?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so go ahead,
Yep,
just check it in.
yep.
All right. Next question, has the ordinance or warrant article authorizing the operation of some or all types of cannabis establishment been amended or otherwise revised since the cannabis establishment was in section 1 of last request for local authorization for the
No.
municipality? That would be a no.
No.
We all agree? All right.
It's never been amended, has it?
It has
has
once.
been.
Yeah.
We amended
Just for
fees.
fees.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
fees. 3B. All right. Is the existing cannabis establishment located equal to or greater than 1,000 feet of the property line of a pre-existing public or private school? If the municipality by ordinance or other regulation prohibits the location at a distance less than 1,000 feet, but not less than 500 from the property, the lesser distance applies.
Yes.
Equal to or greater than. So
Yes, yes.
You agree?
Yeah.
All right. Does the person requesting renewal of local authorization seem to operate the cannabis establishment continue to demonstrate possession or entitlement to possession of the licensed premises of the cannabis establishment? We have
Yes,
that
yep,
documentation. Yep. So that's a yes?
Yeah.
We're done with that, right?
Yep.
All right, so then, we need a motion, or is there?
Okay, hold on, local required for continuous.
This one says-
Okay.
Do
No,
we
so this is it.
You've
Section
had one, at
3C,
least
we need
one,
this
haven't you?
We need
One
So yeah,
renewal?
we gotta do 3C.
Have
Right.
you had at least one
I
renewal?
think this is my third.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
so this
okay.
is-
When do these expire?
They do, wait.
My state level license?
Yeah, like when you do the renewal, is there a timeline that you have to have this in by?
Yes.
What is that date?
Is it May, or?
It's probably a couple weeks out.
Okay, okay.
All right, so one more question. Has the person obtained all applicable municipal approvals, permits, licenses required by the municipality for the continued operation of the type of adult use cannabis establishment by selecting yes below, the municipality is affirming that no further action by the municipality is required prior to the Office of Cannabis Policy's renewal of the active license. The Office of Cannabis Policy encourages the municipality to coordinate the issuance date of a local license with the office when appropriate. Please attach a copy of all approvals, permits, or licenses, including dates of issues and expirations to this form. So I assume yes.
It's a yes, yep.
We all set?
Yep. And then just on the next page, that's the only part we have to do. And I will get a new page on this, because
Okay.
I thought he was gonna be here.
So we should probably have a motion.
Yep, and then we'll have you sign
To
that.
approve the renewal.
Yeah, but I'll get a second page on that, because that was when David was
So
here,
he should sign this?
I did not even catch that. Nope, you need to sign
Sign
that.
there?
So
Yeah.
moved.
So moved?
Second?
Second, all those in favor? All right, so sign right here, right?
Yep.
And date it?
Yes. And then I will send that over to the Office of Cannabis Policy tomorrow morning. Or actually, I can do it tonight when we're done. And then I'll just send you a copy of it.
Appreciate it.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
And then we'll call Casella in the morning. I mean, they're usually within a week, they'll be able to service a haul it out.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate that.
That'd be
Sorry you're
great.
having so much difficulty.
That would be great, thank you very much for that. We'll make some phone calls here, right? All
At least for a
right,
little bit.
well, thank you, you received
Thank you.
payment, we're all set.
Yep, he was in this morning, so
Okay.
I
I appreciate
appreciate
it. Thanks,
that.
everyone.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
All
See you
right.
next year.
Yeah.
Any other old
Big
business?
deal.
Yeah?
Any other old business? Anybody? Okay. New business? Kim,
Nothing.
can we,
Hi,
would you like to address the board?
I would love, well, just hello. My name is Suzanne Andresen. I am running for House District 49 seat because you have turned out, you've done a fabulous job.
Thank you.
And I'm from West Bath and looking to help continue some of your great work forward.
Thanks.
Well, thank you for coming in.
And they did a really fast meeting today.
So sometimes we'll start immediately following, so it's not, sometimes it'll be before.
But I can tell some stories.
Well, I'll just inform the board that I am on vacation next week. It will be coming in on Monday though, to do payroll.
So we don't meet next Wednesday, right? We all know the current schedule. Thank you, seriously, for coming.
And Mike is, so we meet the 15th.
We meet the 15th.
What is it, sorry?
No,
The
so
15th,
the
yeah.
next regular meeting is the 15th.
And I have asked Jennifer Rich Smith to come to that meeting and talk about the school budget.
Okay, we meet on the 22nd because that was like the procedure order of the
Yeah.
town meeting.
Yeah.
It's only take an hour.
Yeah.
We can finalize Allison.
And
things
we
that-
engaged Mr. Fields.
He does. He knows, he'll be there. You lined up some runners for town meeting and I'll handle
Yeah, I should, I'll
the
reach out to
microphone
them,
thing.
yeah.
We'll take care of all
Yeah.
that.
And then we might as well mention, if Jenny's coming in a couple, whatever the next meeting is, also mention the 27th is the second RSU1 budget meeting.
Right.
She sent an email to me today and said there was another one added on April something.
They were gonna add another one
13th.
possibly in the middle, remember?
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I thought she'd sent it, but then when you guys all came in, so I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
That'd
they-
be great.
They indicated the other night that they
But
might
they
have
added
one
another one.
in 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the 13th.
Was the meeting worth attending?
Yes.
Oh, boy. It was full house. And,
Where did they
yes,
hold it?
Yeah, it was worth it.
Not in the auditorium where it makes the
In the
most
fishbowl.
sense.
not in a very good room.
Actually, they held it in the
Fishbowl.
cafe.
Yeah. But we were full, and there was quite a few folks that stood. It was informational, of course. You know, they get talking about folks who are there for what things might be.
Particular reasons.
Yeah, specific reasons, like, you know, it's the nurse in Pittsburgh, or the librarian, or the intervention person, or whatever, but
Yeah.
David spoke. I mean, I just tell him what I know. The four of us went, and David spoke. And he did a very good job. He just spoke for a quick minute and just talked about the impact or the potential impact on taxpayers and that sort of thing. And then there were some good comments from
From the board.
board members. Jenny did a very good job of talking about things, and
Jamie Dorr and also
Kurt.
Kurt Spiridakis.
Yeah.
First time I have seen some, other than from Jenny, some serious interest in making further cuts rather than adding things. We don't know where it'll go from there, but that's the first time I've seen that.
But right now, it's an approximate $600,000 increase in Town of Woolwich. And so, you know, there's an awful lot of information that will
Yeah.
never, you know,
Yeah.
it's deep, you know, it's
Yeah.
$7 million?
Yeah, they also produced two scenarios, one adding an additional 100,000 and one subtracting an additional subtracting 100,000. The 100,000 takes it down
Nine.
just a scooch below 10%. And the adding 100,000 takes it almost to 11. So,
For Woolwich.
for Woolwich, yeah.
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 Yeah. I
That was
can't,
the one where Pittsburgh went down, right?
Mm.
Pittsburgh went down.
Yes.
one of them was minus,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Bath,
it
I think,
is.
was second. Arosik was third.
Yeah, so there are a couple
second.
more meetings planned, there's a big one at the end of the month, and yeah, go.
Hopefully they'll put it in a
I-
bigger
I
room.
almost, I mean,
There were many of us in the back going, how come we're not in the auditorium?
Allison came by the window is when but the thing is though, in all fairness, I'm not sure that the number of people that we had in there, we were supposed to have in that room. You know what I mean? I don't know what the capacity is.
Oh, I'm
Safety
sure.
code?
Yeah, and so I would hope that maybe they would recognize that we would be in a bigger.
It was all, we had it there last year. It was not as full.
No, right. Yeah.
But it was all about the French.
But the increase wasn't as much either.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Stay tuned, but
We should adjourn up with no coffee.
anything else? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do adjourn.
Thank you.
Before I have a coffee fit.